there's a self-titled record that I did that I Still Believe on it. Um, and the record company was screaming, its metals had just exploded. We got to make another record. We got to make another record. And I was 6 months sober, and I gotten out of treatment, and not knowing if my marriage was going to survive, and just trying to go a day without drinking, and learning how to live, and going to AA meetings, and I couldn't write. I just, it just takes a while your brain to start firing again when you've been drinking hard. Um, and so I'm in LA, and John Hyatt is a great writer, singer, and my AA sponsor. And I said, I don't know what to do. And he said, go to LA and just trust those around you. And I was lost. I mean, I was just lost and no direction, couldn't write. And Lynn Nichols, who has played with Steve, and he was A&R for that record. And I don't think he knew exactly. He just knew I couldn't write, and I was just stuck. I don't think I didn't tell anybody really that I had just gotten out of treatment. And he played the song "I Still Believe." Through the pain, through the heartache, through the lies, through the storms, through the cries, through the wars, I still believe. And I just started crying. And I said, if I could write a song right now, it would be that song. And then other songs began to come. Charlie Peacock brought Down in the Lowlands, Hear My Cry, Save Me. And that was another heart cry, but at the time, it was 1988, 87, 88. And there's a song on there that I wrote called This Healing Touch. And in writing it, begging Tori to stay. I mean, you don't realize that's what it is, but if you knew the story, I'm just saying, give me one more chance, give me one more chance. But what was happening in the Christian marketplace was PTL. You guys probably aren't old enough to remember, but what was going on all across the country was, we're blessed, we're blessed, we're blessed. We are blessed. We don't deserve it, but yet we are blessed. And I've got this record coming out that I'm screaming, God save me, because I'm going under. And that was the worst listening party that I had ever been to where, I mean, like the with the Imperials, and my first solo record wins a Grammy, and medals were, but then all of a sudden this record, and nobody at Word likes it. They don't know what to do with it. It's like, and Tori told me going into this, she said, do you want to be this honest? Do you want to be this honest? And I said, I can't sing fluff right now. Yeah. Right.
Yep.
It's got to be honest and real. And the listening party, everybody was just quiet. They would play a song and then play another song, and everybody's just kind of looking around at each other. And I could see the radio people, what in the world are we going to pitch to radio? But all these years later, looking back, that was the most honest record I've ever made in my life. I mean, it was honest, it was real, it was pain. And in this Christian walk, we have times our world is just blown apart. But if I could recommend it of my catalog, I would go back and recommend that one. It's just a self-titled record, Russ Taff. But I don't know. But it's Lauren Ballman, who he was high up in Word like that. And when he heard the record, and I just he went to his office and let everybody just kind of leave and that sort of thing. And he said, Russ, it may not look like it right now. He said, but eventually this will be a career record for you.
Yeah.
And about 5-6 years later, it was maybe 10 years later. But I can't tell you the pastors, assistant pastors, music directors that are older that says that record, that song, when I was going through a hard time, in my world, and I was in Bible school, didn't know if I was going to continue with the ministry, or my wife left me and I was still trying to serve. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of people. My own pastor that I went to in Nashville here, I mean, he went. His wife left him, and he's pastoring a church, and she leaves, and it's over. They asked him to leave, but he knew God had called him, and it's like, where do I go? Where do I go? But he sang that song over and over, and every time I would see him, he'd go into that second verse, flat on my back, out to sea. But that song, I don't know, it just became something that the leaders of the church, those that had fallen on hard times, it was a
Right.
song they could sing through all of this. I still believe. But I'm going on too much about this, but just looking back over my career,
No.
that album was the most honest record I think I've ever made.